right, welcome back. Well, that article we saw was about the Netflix drama called Narco Saints and a country called Suriname. Way back when, well, not way back when, but a little bit ago. There's this huge, based on a true story about a little drug bust that happened. It involved Korea, it involved Suriname, it involved multiple different nations, including the US in the TV show. And it's placed in a country called Suriname, which is multi-ethnic, speaks many different languages. And it just has this whole entangling of all these different storylines and all these different happenings at the same time. It was very fun. However, the country itself in real life was not so thrilled. It looked at this series and said that we are no longer associated with drugs. This is untrue. And so they are now trying to take a little bit of retribution and say that this Netflix series has called them a narco state again, and they want it to be apologized or removed. I don't know what the end game is, but in the end, they're suing the production company and who knows who else over this little matter here. A
fascinating article, and I definitely want to watch the show now I've read it. And I liked the little detail about how the Korean person who was involved in all this, he originally went to Suriname just for a very ordinary business trip. My students were telling me he was buying fish. They're a coastal country, and he wanted to import their fish to make hong here in Korea. But, you know, kind of by accident, he gets involved in these sort of drug bust that's going on there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very, very fun story. You mentioned that, you know, they were going for fish and stuff, but what other purposes would Korean business people go to Suriname for?
Well, I guess it must be trade of all kinds. Yeah, I guess Korea is big on tech, so maybe selling tech to Suriname and buying their resources.
Yeah, well, I think it's reason for any business people to go anywhere. It's trade and business of all sorts.
I don't know what tourism is like in Suriname. I guess maybe do some Korean business people go there to build hotels or engage in tourism, or I don't know, maybe.
Well, after this Netflix drama, there might be an uptick in tourism because any publicity is good publicity, as the old adage says.
I hope so. I hope so. Because, as you mentioned, they do seem a bit upset right now. The government do, at least. And I can kind of understand that if you've been trying to clean up your image. And then suddenly somebody's sort of taking you back to the 80s and you're like, no, we were just trying to escape that image and now you've reminded everyone. But
bit sensitive.
But it's a true story.
It's a true story. You said you might go to other countries, might think about other countries. But what about like living and working in other parts of South America? Would you want to? Why or why not?
Do you know, when I was selecting career, I was thinking about I was teaching in Russia and I was thinking where to go. One of the countries high up on my list was Chile, Santiago.
That long country.
They have destabilized a bit since then, but 10 years ago, when I was thinking where to go, they were doing so well. They were the most successful and stable country in South America, booming English language teaching market, and I speak a bit of Spanish.
And great wine.
Yes, Chilean wine. That would have been great.
Is there any Korean wine? Not rice wine, just normal grape wine?
Popunja? Although, no, a grape wine, I don't think they grow a lot of grapes here.
I'll have to figure that out later.
Maybe there is Suriname wine, Surinamese wine.
A Surinamese wine, interesting, yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't mind going over to, I think Chile would be a fun one to go to. Peru, and that's mostly for the history and the nature. I would love all that. I didn't know anything about the economy or booming business or English at all. It would just be purely for my selfish reasons of looking at old Aztec or Mayan cultures, or Peruvian cultures as well.
That would be great.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and bust our way into these vocabularies, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Anglophone. Anglophone.
corridor,
Corridor.
personnel,
Personnel.
narco-state,
Narco-state.
retribution,
Retribution.